I feel all calm now. I feel like I've just finished meditating or something. Welcome to my studio and welcome to another edition of Art Success with me, Adelaide Damoah. Today's interview is with a really lovely man by the name of Stephen Stockbridge. And when I say lovely, I mean I left his studio feeling very calm, like I was walking on a cloud. I mean, he's got a very calm way about him. Anyway, Stephen has been a full-time practicing artist for the last 26 years, and he worked mainly in sculpture in the public realm. He started life really as a young teenager working for an engineering firm for a short amount of time, then went on to study theatre design and prop making, and then got accepted into the Wimbledon College of Art to study for a BA in Fine Art and Sculpture. So he graduated in 1990, and after graduation was immediately picked up by a gallery, and at the same time he was offered a residency at a school. He was able to see the two different ways of working in the art world, and he much preferred the kind of community-based way of working with the school, doing the school residency, and that kind of dictated the way that his career would go from that point onwards. After that experience, Stephen went on to utilise the things that he'd learned at theatre design school and had a bit of a spell as an art director. He made a feature film, he made a few pop videos, he also managed to set up a charity, he set up some studios, and then decided to leave all of that behind and plough full steam ahead into making art full-time. Stephen describes the main theme in his work as bringing people together. And he uses humour to mock and to elevate. And you can really see that in the work, and you can feel it in the work as well. It's very lively, young, vibrant work, but with something behind it as well. Anyway, you can see for yourself what I mean by that whole calm thing. Just watch the interview and see for yourself. Thank you. So obviously you're full-time. How does one work in a public in the public art realm? How do you make income?
Okay, so the public art realm, art in the public space, that kind of thing, it's changed lots of different ways. So if you're with a gallery and you worked in larger work, the gallery would find you opportunities and then they'd pitch you in for jobs, that kind of thing. I exist on the peripheries of that because I'm kind of obsessed by my freedom, and the lack of anyone controlling me is sort of almost pathological. But it's networking, it's sharing your passions for things, and it's also, if you believe in, you become in tune with the universe and things present themselves to you. So if you're clear enough, all these opportunities just come to you. So I don't worry about jobs and things, it just comes to you, all this stuff. Finds you, the right work finds you. So it's a committee basically will find you. Public spaces are complicated spaces. They're owned by different people. So there's borough councils, there's developers, there's schools, there's parks, there's buildings, there's inside buildings, there's all sorts of physical spaces. And then there's the more temporary things. So there's like festivals and international festivals and things like this. So there's all different layers of work opportunities. Work finds me. I don't know how it finds me. I'm not inquisitive to look and try and find out how it came to me. I just accept it. I'll talk to these people, and I've very much at the beginning established a way in which I work, which is about the freedom to develop these ideas. And if they're up for that, then it's good. If not, I'm prepared to walk away because it won't work. So that's the From a practical standpoint, did you start off having to apply to specific organisations or public art organisations or put in tenders for things? I think networking. I think those kind of open submission things, nothing ever comes to those. Because normally they've got someone anyway and they're legally going through what they have to do. I think talking to people referring you, that's the way you find work. And it's normally they'll come to you and they'll have certain parameters, like they'll have a budget, they'll have a location, they'll have, it needs to be robust, it needs to be vandal resistant, these kind of things. Especially if you're working with a developer who hasn't got an aesthetic opinion really, or an artistic opinion. It's just public art is a piece of cultural identity. So you think, these are social indicators. You've got a thing, you've got a theatre, you've got an arts quarter, whatever it is. You need a bit of public art. So it's like a bauble. So it's, so you have to be in charge of the, why you're doing it, what you're doing, the quality, all of that, in charge of that. Whereas before, if you're with a gallery, the gallery will be brokering all this for you. So I quite enjoy that. I enjoy the rough and tumble of meeting people and dominating them really with your ideas and your personality and your ability to get what you want.
Yeah.
So that's a constant fight. Some artists I know really hate it. They can't bear it. They can't bear that sort of thing. I like it.
I would assume you'd have to have quite good negotiation skills from a financial side of things.
Yes.
They will have a specific budget, and then
and you'd have to tell them, what is possible and what, and you have to maybe go for more money if they've got a certain belief that something's possible within a budget. You have to be on that. But that comes with experience. You start off and you make losses. That's the way you learn, because you'll want to do things and you'll use up all your budget. But it's quite high pressure like that. Yes, you get money, you get an opportunity. And that's it really. I'm an opportunity. I'll see something and I'll push it. And so when we started out earlier, I was working with some other artists, and you find someone who's got a pot of money, and you try to win them round to spend it with you. So you're like, whereas before they'd have a budget for doing something in parks. Well, have you thought about this? And then you sell them the idea of getting people involved and believing in a space and all this sort of thing. And then they trust you with a bit of money. And again, it's about trust. Handing over money, big sums of money, is about trust. Punctuality is really strong. I'm very, when I say something, I'll be there and I'll be on time and I'll be there. And that's what's got me work.
Yeah.
It's all of these other things, that, determined networker. But yes.
Do you ever sell any smaller items from your studio?
Yes. I sell some things at open studios. I have a friend that has a sort of gallery shop that I sell things through her, just because I like her. And it's really nice and easy. So that's really good. I didn't used to make very many small things. I used to do drawings and I'd sell those at open studios. People would like those. I think I'm more quieter now than I was, so I can make smaller things and pictures and drawings.
Can you remember the first time you got your first big job and what that felt like?
I can remember the first time I sold a piece of work, which when I was at college. It was coming up to the summer holidays, I think, my second year, and I saw a notice on the board saying there was some 2-week sculpture camp or something organised by this person. And I called them up and we went along. And this woman was really well connected. Her dad was sold old masters drawings,
wow.
Rodin and Rembrandt and all sorts of things, beautiful stuff. And he paid for us to have this sort of show. So we had this amazing house and grounds, and we all made these sculptures in this huge field. And then he got catalogues published and invited lots of rich people, and everyone sold their work.
Wow!
And it was amazing. So it was a fantastic thing to sell a piece of work like that. So up to then it wasn't that real, and then so that was a big thing. I remember doing that. And then the next big jump was I was used to spending money and doing budgets when I was doing pop videos and things. So it was big budgets. And by the end we were making adverts, so, £250,000. So it's a lot of money to spend. But yeah, I remember getting a job for £60,000, a commission for 60,000 quid, and it was just like, okay, let's do this. So yes, it's a different place to being at college when you're messing around trying to get some money off the tutors to buy a bit of material. And then you think, I can actually make my work pay. It can earn me a living. So that's quite good.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge to date as an artist, and how have you overcome it?
Yes, I would say my mental health, depression, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very volatile, very up and very down. I have sort of a seasonal thing where I kind of hibernate in the winter and come out in the spring. It's a very difficult thing to live with. My meditation helps a lot, but it's still very difficult, and so that's an ongoing battle. That I have all the time going on. So I don't think I've conquered it yet. I don't know, but I live with it and try to deal with it. But I've talked to lots of creative people, and they all suffer from some form of you know.
Yeah.
So it's the nature of the beast, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know, but the spiritual aspect of my life is very helpful.
Yeah. What would you say was your biggest success, the thing that you're most proud of?
I've got a brother. I've got two brothers and a sister, but my brother Johnny is also an artist, and we collaborate together every now and again. And I'm proudest, I think, we created we were doing lots of pieces of work, and we were doing some things for Somerset House, and we were doing these great big installations that grew over sort of 4 days, and we were doing them with the gallery there. They opened their collection. They were trying to get people to come in and see their work that wouldn't normally come in. So they would say, here's our collection, go and have a look at it, and then make some piece of work that would grow with that. Anyway, we were doing that for years, and it got bigger and bigger and very popular. And then we got someone from the Manchester International Festival who saw us, came down. We didn't know that day, came down, was watching us work, and then they invited us up to Manchester for a couple of days to meet them and then tell us about their project. And we got commissioned twice to do a piece of work for that. And you get commissioned to do a new piece of work, and it's a biannual festival, and it takes a year to develop the work, and then you present it at the festival, and that's 18 days long.
Wow.
And it's, it's high end. They've got musicians and artists and stuff all making work. You've got Bjork, and they've got, whoever, these amazing talents and bits of theatre going on. Just feeling really supported on what you do and the journey you go through and what you make is, and that's the pieces that we made for those, which I'm most proud of, I think. Just so beautiful things, yeah. And it was called A Flutter. It was a show that we made. It was about that magic and simplicity of creativity, that state in which you find yourself, your sort of heart fluttering in excitement and sort of, knowing that, wow, that kind of thing. And we worked with the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra and wind and paper and colour and it was amazing. So it made this sort of thing, and 2,800 people saw it over 18 days, and it was just really amazing, a really kind of moving experience to go through, with all those people. So that's fantastic, and to come to be able to move into that temporary work is quite freeing after doing a lot of public work that is very engineered and robust. It has its own beauty and its own traits, but the freedom of this is very beautiful, and to be fully supported is it was a real privilege to work with them. So I enjoyed that.
How did you happen to be working for Somerset House in the first place?
So I think my brother had got in with the people that were running it. He'd done something and just said, do you want to come in and work? And then we developed it over 3 or 4 years, done different things. So it's like that. So it's all these shows, different things you make build up one on the other. So I don't know, never that specific how they happen. I never applied for getting a job there or anything. It was, I think, a generosity of spirit and your heart being able to manifest these beautiful things, It's a lovely thing. Yeah.
How would you define success in the art world personally?
Success in the art world,
Yeah.
I think, is a ability to keep making art that you care about. I think it's very easy to get caught up with the pressure of making art, and you get a certain level of success, and it then becomes very hard to ditch that, to go off and do something else. It's very hard to keep it going, to keep your cynicism and all of those things away, and keep that sort of freshness and innocence, playfulness that keeps you making. But most people I know that are creative artists, that they can't do anything else. In a way, it is a bit. It's on one hand, it's a fantastic thing, but also it's quite sad because it's an inability to do anything else.
By your definition, do you feel like you're successful?
successful. I mean, I'm able to make my work. It's all relative, isn't it? You know, to one person, it's finding it harder, you'll be successful. To someone else, you see, you're not so successful. You know, and also measures of success, you know, are very personal, and maybe some slightly more commercial side of it's never interested me. It's purely freedom and searching for what I want to search for. But I think my spiritual journey is more interesting and more rewarding. And I think my art now is just what it is. Trying to find peace of mind and peace and satisfaction in myself without the, you know, exterior stimulus, without having to have those things that, you know, bolster our egos. That's more important to me.
Would you say your spiritual practice feeds your art?
Yeah, it opens it up. It allows it to flow better. It allows it to not get so caught up in, I suppose, the cerebral nature of contemporary art. A lot of contemporary art has gone down a cul-de-sac of self-referring, abstraction, and there's not much meat on the bone. It's rarefied, it's self-referring, it's commodity trend-based work that, you know, I think in time will just be seen as a little blip. But, you know, there's not a lot of heart to it. You know, there's something is clever and something is cerebral. To me, it's just not enough there.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm happy with what I'm doing.
Last question.
Yes.
What advice would you give to other artists wishing to follow in your footsteps?
Just tread your own way, go your own way, run your own race, and just self-doubt, just chuck it out the window. Self-doubt is always there and is just the thing that is trying to stop you pursuing that passion, that dream, that little white rabbit that dances around, that is your imagination, that is your spirit. Just follow that, and then try and support your life with things that can support your life, instead of getting caught up with romantic ideals and nihilistic behaviour that is a cliche. It's a worn track that brings no real rewards. I don't think, that kind of stuff. It's, we're in a very different time that we need honesty and we need people acting from the heart and creating real value in the world. I think that's what we need to do, transcend the commercial side and, reach out.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for joining me for that edition of Art Success with Stephen Stockbridge. Do you feel calm? Do you feel floaty? I know you do. Anyway, if you'd like to see Stephen in person and catch some of his calm vibes, please do come down to Open Studios, which is happening this week, actually, between the 2nd and the 5th of June 2016. For his studio details, please see below here on YouTube. If you're watching this after that date, then I'm sorry. You're going to have to book a private studio visit with him if you really want to meet him. So please do subscribe to my channel, because by subscribing you get to keep up to date with the latest interviews, art vlogs and exhibition vlogs. So until next time, take care. Bye.